Today's older workers may see the first cuts in their Social Security benefits. Dateline, September 26, 2020. Market Watch by Alessandra Melito. Let's check this out. I haven't read this article yet. Someone sent this to me, so we'll read it together for the first time, shall we? CBO released an updated budget outlook, including the pandemic's impact on the economy. And we got a lady here who's like, oh no, I'm going to lose all my money. Many young Americans said they don't expect to get Social Security when they retire, which is stupid. But it's the older workers of today who may see the first cuts to their benefit. The CBO released an updated budget outlook on Wednesday, originally published in July, to reflect the impact on the pandemic has had on the economy. It's not the pandemic, my friends, it's the response to the pandemic. In this report, the agency said the budget deficit will reach $3.3 trillion this year and $13 trillion over the next decade. The national debt, which is projected to be 98% of gross domestic product this year, well, I'm surprised it's that low, to be honest with you, is expected to surpass levels of the World War II next year, when it's expected to reach 104%. And anytime you hear that, you say, okay, what's the GDP, the national debt? What's the national debt to GDP ratio in Japan? Well over 200%, consistently. So I'm actually surprised it's only 98% this year. I would have thought it'd been more in the U.S. But anyway, as you sit here today and you hear the national debt to GDP ratio is going to be above 100%, that means hyperinflation is coming. You just look at Japan. Literally, you look at Japan. Among the numerous adverse effects on the current crisis is the steep incline in the expected insolvency dates for Social Security and Medicare's programs, which are expected to run out of money in 11 years compared to the 15 previously. Well, which one? Because Social Security and Medicare have different time frames, Alessandra. Which one? Social Security expect to run out of money in 11 years. When's Medicare? Probably like yesterday. These programs rely heavily on payroll taxes. The CBO expects reported receipts from payroll taxes the CBO expects reported receipts from payroll taxes to increase this year despite record levels of unemployment, but that will change in subsequent years. Lower interest rates and price levels will also reduce the cost of Social Security and other related healthcare benefits. That doesn't. CBO's expected record receipts to increase this year on payroll tax despite record levels of unemployment. Okay. The two trust funds that support the program, which pay out retirement benefits as well as disability survivorship, are already at risk of running out of money. With the impact of the pandemic under view, the CBO estimates the insolvency date for the Social Security disability insurance to be 2026, and the Social Security retirement program, known as Old Age and Survivors, by 2031. There you go. Medicare hospital insurance faces insolvency by 2024. In other words, the youngest retirees face a sharp 25% drop in their benefits when they turn 73. The CRFB said in analysis by the CBO's report. What's the CRFB? We got let's see what the CRFB is. The CRFB is the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget, which did analysis on CBO's update outlook. So we'll have to look at that. In other words, you'll face a sharp 25% drop in your benefit when you turn 73, says the CFRB. We'll read these guys here in just a second. Other research, the Bipartisan Policy Center anticipates that two trust funds will be depleted by around the time of the 2028 presidential election. Okay, so the Bipartisan Policy Center is a bunch of just swamp dwellers, man. I don't pay any mind to them. I can almost guarantee you the CFRB is the same. So let's take a look at who the CFRB is, shall we? So let's pause for just we'll just go here. We're going to click on this CFRB, Committee for Responsible Budget. Let's see who these people are. About us, board members. So I'm just going to look at the board members, and I have a sneaky Mitch Daniels. All right, well, there you go. He's pretty good. Leon Panetta. All right, not good. Tim Penny. I'm surprised Mitch Daniels is in there. I'm a fan of Mitch. Tim Penny's a big lib. He acts like he was from Minnesota. Yep. He acted like he was a big conservative Democrat. He wasn't. Panetta is just a swamp driller. Maya McGinnis. Let's see. She worked at the Brookings Institute and on Wall Street, and she did a stint on the a Washington Post editorial board. All right, Barry Anderson. Let's see. Deputy National Governors Association, George Washington University, FASB. All right, doesn't say most of his career has been in the U.S. federal government. Okay, so just Erskine Bowles, he ran for Congress against who did he run against in 2006? Elizabeth Dole, if memory serves, but he's a big lib. Morgan Stanley, huh? And we see lots of Wall Street, D.C. connections here. Charles Bout Kent Conrad, another North Dakota senator from a Democrat from North Dakota, a swamp dweller. Charles was appointed to the GAO in 1981 by Reagan. Again, another swamp dweller. Dan Crippen, not familiar with him. He was George H.W. Bush advisor on all issues domestic policy. Vic Fazio is a Democrat from California. Jane Harman, Democrat from California. This guy works with Patton Boggs, which is a huge, probably the number one law firm in the world in terms of just suing and suing and suing and suing everybody. And they give huge amounts of Democratic Party. Hoagland, that name sounds familiar to me, Bipartisan Policy Center, James Jones. All right, so I don't know. Jim Colby, he was the first Republican gay congressman out of Arizona who since he hates Trump. Marjorie Margolis, she was the one who passed the Clinton budget bill, the last vote in the Clinton budget, and she lost her re-election in 1994. And guess who her son is? Her son's married to Chelsea Clinton. And he had all these Greek, he was a hedge fund in Greek and lost his shirt, but he still got tons of money. Dave McCurdy, Oklahoma, yep. Oh, man, these are why is freaking Mitch Daniels on there? That I don't get that at all. I mean, he's affiliated with all these clowns. And Mitch Daniels was the president, George W. Bush's OMD director, if memory serves. Dave Minge, look, just all swamp dwellers, man. Just swamped. I mean, I go through this. I see Chuck Robb. Oh my goodness, he's on the facility of George Mason, Simpson. The Simpson Act of 1986 to allow for illegal immigrants to become citizens. Spratt from South Carolina, Stenholm from Texas. Oh my goodness, Stockman. Oh boy, David Stockman. What's he doing on here, man? Fake freaking news as far as the eyes can see. Janet Yellen. What the hell is Dan? Only one on there is worth a damn is freaking Yellen. Not Yellen. Is Mitch Daniels. I don't know what he's doing on there. Freaking swamp dwellers, man. I just the swamp protects the swamp. That's all there is to it. You got to freaking just not listen to these people because they're just. What do they want? They want control. They want more of your taxes. They want less of your freedom. They want top-down dictate to protect the swamp. That's what they want. I just sit there and I'm sitting there thinking, what is in it for these guys? I don't know. They're paying 4D chess while we're paying 3D. That's for sure, playing 3D. I don't know what it is in for them. Bipartisan Policy Center and these guys the same. It's just all the same people. I don't think Alessandra has it. Let's see. Where's Alessandra from here? Let's go back to Market Watch. I don't think she's got the chops. Yeah, she's a retirement reporter based in New York. Let's see if we can see her. Let's look her up in LinkedIn. So hold on just a second. All right, so here's Alessandra Melito. She works in D.C. Let's see what her I got a bunch of connections with her. Technology Investment News, freelance reporter with the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, intern Investment News. So she looks like she's young. NBC News. So she was interning for NBC in 2014. So this is Stony Brook. You know who's from Stony Brook? That would be Stephanie Kelton? I think so. Intern. Let's see. She went to BU she didn't go to. She went to City University Graduate School of Journalism. Stony Brook, yeah, that's where Stephen Kelton. I'm almost positive. 2009. So she has she just graduated. She's freaking. Look, I got no. Why are you taking your information from this woman? I mean, I'm not saying she's bad. I'm not saying she's evil, but she's getting This is the media today, my friends. This is what freaking Ben Rhodes talked. Was it Ben Rhodes? Yeah, talked about from Obama. Because the media is just basically 27-year-old know-nothings who do as we tell them. Man, this is part and parcel of this. Alessandra, she hears these big, oh my goodness, these are all these people in D.C. They're smart, and I'm just a young lady, and I want to get. It's she's basically auditioning, is what it is. I can almost guarantee you it will not be that much longer for Alessandra is on the Washington Post editorial page. And that's what she's doing. She's auditioning. Again, I'm not saying she's evil, but that's the path of least resistance. You put these budgets, these articles out that promote the freaking swamp, and then the swamp will take you back in kind. And this happens time and time again. Nuts. And they're young. Ben Rhodes, Obama's guy, I think his national security advisor, said these are basically 27-year-old know-nothings who do what we tell them. There you go. All right, we'll see you.